Hello, guys. In today's episode 27, we are going to look at anime adaptations from mangas. First of all, we are going to take a look at good adaptations with good quality that made the manga better, and then look at bad adaptations where viewers got really frustrated because of bad adaptations.
Adaptation, by the way.
Yeah, adaptations.
Yes, I think this will be quite an interesting episode because we have different opinions. We are basically the exact opposite because you are in the camp of I like adaptations, and I am in the camp I like the original because you like anime and I like manga.
Hmm.
Plus, I have a question for you before we start.
Okay.
What is the goal from an adaptation, and how should I define it? What does the viewer want from an adaptation, and what is the real goal from the adaptation that the company wants to fulfill or have fulfilled with that adaptation? Because
Mm.
there's a difference, keen difference.
Yes, yes, there is definitely. For the company, it's definitely, of course, that the manga gets bought and merchandise gets bought.
Yes.
And for the viewers, they want to see the manga with emotions, with music, with voices, everything. It should be just the manga with emotions, sounds. Yeah,
They
that's
want
about it.
they want to see the story with from a manga with the strength of the anime medium. So just
Yes.
like I said with music and voice acting and animations.
Hmm.
I think to get this point out of the way in the start is very important so that we have the same starting point.
Hmm. Yes.
Then it's your episode. What do you want to talk about? Because you are the guy who knows more about adaptations.
Hmm. Yes, as I said, we are going to start with good animation adaptations. And yes, you know what's my number one example of a good adaptation.
Yes, but before you talk about your example, I am the number one Demon Slayer hater in this podcast. I mean, there's only one hater in this podcast, but it pains me to say, but I have something in my throat. It's really hard to get it out. Demon Slayer is actually a good adaptation because
Thank you.
the manga sucks balls. Anime makes it at least enjoyable because of the spectacle.
I have to pull out my manga and I'm going to see some chapters and yep, you're right.
I have prepared a panel. It's from the final season when they are going into the Infinity Castle, where is a comparison from the theme in the manga and in the anime, and it looks way worse in the manga. It looks so ass.
Yes, that's definitely a good example for a good adaptation.
I mean, the lighting gives it a whole nother atmosphere where the
Mm.
Hashiras and our MCs are jumping in. In manga, it just looks plain.
Yep. I mean, the manga is from a woman. What do you expect? Sorry, sorry.
Misogyny. The author from Dorito is also a woman, so that doesn't
Mm.
count.
Yes.
There are also some other panels I have prepared if you want to talk about further. If you
Yes,
want to talk about Demon Slayer.
I also prepared a clip for that because you definitely have to see how the adaptation looks like.
The motion.
Yes, the emotions. Like you can hear it because we are currently speaking, so I
And
muted the
because of
audio.
copyright. And
Hmm.
for the anime onlys, what not anime onlys, audio onlys. What is the clip?
It's Yes, it's from a fight in the first season.
It's episode 19, right?
It is. It was definitely hype as fuck. And everything was put well together as
Yes.
a whole.
Without this clip, the Demon Slayer manga would have probably been axed. Because the manga was not selling good before the anime came out.
Hmm.
I also have prepared a screenshot from the scene where you can see the impact.
Okay, then we had the same idea.
Yes, I have a picture from the anime and the manga, and again, it looks way better in the anime. Because in manga, there isn't even the fire in this specific scene I've picked out.
Yes, I see that. I mean, it looks not bad in the manga, but anime is definitely better.
True. It's definitely better than the last manga panel that we showed. You can at least see the movement.
Yes, another good example that I have is another clip that you will
Wait,
see.
we have another
Okay,
Demon Slayer clip or from another show?
from another show.
Okay, because I have a final picture from Demon Slayer.
Okay,
It's a scene where Tanjiro gets pretty angry. I mean, it looks fine in the manga, but in the anime with color scheme, with all the red, he looks like a menace.
yes.
So, W again for the anime.
Hmm. It was in a fight with Gyutaro in the entertainment district, where his jaw got stabbed.
Yes, you can see the blade there if you look close
Hmm.
enough.
I mean, you can see it in the manga panel too, but it isn't that obvious.
Yes, plus with the red, it looks way better.
Hmm.
Plus, I like that Tanjiro is looking at the viewer and not to the side,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So they've changed the shot and the panel that it looks better.
Yes, it got adapted, but better.
Yes. Now you can go on with your next clip.
Yes, for my next clip, I picked out a banger because this scene was so hype. Because the music was pretty well, the animations were fucking clean. I'm talking about Dan Da Dan, the chasing scene.
With a Turbo Granny.
Yes, the music was pretty well like a classic remixed, but it definitely fitted for the scene.
Yes, plus they also hit the CGI that they used really well because of the filter that they used.
Hmm.
You can see it if you look closely, but you have to look closely.
And in the manga, it wasn't that long, so they made the scene longer for better impact, for better, um, how would you
To,
say it?
to use the strength of the medium better.
Yes.
Action
Uh,
scenes are often longer or have some added stuff in the anime compared to the manga. Because when you have a panel where you get from point A to point B, and in the anime you show how you get from point A to point B.
mm,
While in the manga there's a gap. Or it's at least kind of shown because of some movement lines, speed lines, and so on, but you don't see how a person moves continuously.
yes, definitely. So the chasing scene was pretty well. And I was very surprised when they pulled out this classic music in a remix.
It will definitely come again in one episode. Classic music.
Hmm. Yes, that's about it for my good adaptations. Do you have anything else for good adaptations?
You are the adaptations man, but I have one really good adaptation, but it's the one that you don't like. You know what it is. It's
Yeah.
number one for a reason. It's Frieren. because of the music. It gives the show such a vibe. It fits. If you have scenes where you are traveling, like in Lord of the Rings, that's also a good example. If you have some cool music when you are traveling, some great shots, it gives such a good and cool vibe. Plus, in manga form, episodic shows are kinda meh. But I think in anime, they work really well because they're anime episodes and it's an episodic show, so it fits the medium of anime way better.
Mm. Anything else for good adaptations?
I mean, for the most animes, I prefer the manga, but there are some solid ones. Like I think Shangri-La Frontier is really good,
Mm.
which is currently airing. Especially our German dub is good. I was really surprised. I think Eminence in Shadow also got a good adaptation because the author was working with the anime studio. I read that in the current English light novel volume in the end because there was a gap and the author wrote that he did not have much time to write the light novel because he was working with a game team because Eminence in Shadow has a gacha game and with the anime studio. So I quite like it when the author of a light novel or a manga is working with the anime studio.
Mm.
Because especially the first season of Eminence in the Shadow has some good scenes where you are shown the world and seeing the influence. Because the main MC brings some knowledge from our world into the world and tells his underlings this knowledge. And then the
Mm.
underlings build, for example, brands and influence the world with their knowledge, with economics, with clothes, chocolate, and so on, with classic music, gives concerts, and so on. So Immense Shadow, good adaptation. Plus, there's a top tier voice acting clip. I think you know it. It's the ASMR one.
Mm.
I am atomic.
Yes,
Good one.
definitely a good one. It was like an ear is ASMR.
Yes.
Yes, I think it's enough for good adaptations. We named a few.
Yes. Plus, talking about the good stuff is boring. Need
Hmm.
hate and talk about the bad stuff.
Yes.
So,
So,
do we have a point with which you want to start?
definitely one. And I hit it on it a lot. It's definitely Promised Neverland, season 2.
Yes.
For this, I don't have any clips. I just have a video pic from the ending. But yeah,
Why is it
like,
that bad?
yes, would you call an adaptation good if you leave out great characters that are important to the plot? Who arcs that are also important to the plot? Change the ending completely? Would you call this a good adaptation?
It's not. I think there's in video games there's a good analogy. You have a remake and a remaster. In the remaster, you make the same stuff but with newer graphics, and in a remake, you make kind of a same game but change a lot of different stuff to make it a new game with the same feeling. I think Performance Neverland is the same. It has still a bit of the same feeling, but a lot has changed. But it still
Yes.
has the same name.
Yes, but I wouldn't call it a good adaptation.
No. Even
I
though I did
mean,
not watch it. I can agree.
I read the manga and I was very disappointed when I watched season 2. Because one of my favorite arcs didn't even got animated, yes.
I was happy about season 2 because I was
Yeah,
in the camp that Promised Neverland was overhyped, the fans were annoying, and I did not have any interest to watch the show. And then when it got bad, I was happy because I was right.
Very schadenfreudig.
That's actually the correct word. Because in English it's called Schadenfreude.
Yes, they adapted it from Germany.
Good adaptation.
Yes, that's definitely why I call it a bad adaptation, because if important stuff is left out, then it's not good as an adaptation.
Yes. Do you have some other examples for a bad adaptation? So, the next adaptation that is bad. I don't have a picture, but if you want to see some reference, you can check out our last podcast episode or our last highlight from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exam adaptation. I showed Kai the trailer and he was laughing his ass off because it's bad.
Mm.
I mean, the manga isn't good, but it has good art. It has some nice edgy scenes, some good action. So, it's a solid 7 out of 10. Not a 2 point something anime on Mal.
Yes, it was definitely a shit, and it deserves bad adaptation. I didn't read the manga, and I didn't knew the show existed before Nikolai told me in the last episode.
I
Yeah,
was
and
quite surprised. I thought the Zuma did see some TikTok clips from it.
no, I wasn't that much into anime in 2020, or when this came out, this anime.
I think it was at least before the pandemic.
Yes, so I wasn't that much into anime this time, so I didn't get any news about it. Yes, for my next one, I have another clip prepared. Yeah, you can definitely show bad adaptations if you show some clips. And this one definitely deserves this, because it's a PNG slideshow fight.
What's the clip for the audio onlys?
It's from the anime Record of Ragnarok,
Ah,
where the fight is a whole slideshow, and I mean it not just for fun, it's basically a slideshow.
I mean, we know another show which was airing where at least 80% of it was like this.
Yes, but it wasn't that bad.
Plus, they redeemed themselves.
Yes, definitely. I have seen a lot of positive feedback when the last episode of Blue Lock came out. And I was very hyped too when I watched the scene or the last episode.
Yes, I still need to watch it, but I heard also a positive feedback. And I also
Yes.
heard how bad the Record of Ragnarok anime is supposed to be. Even though the manga is quite popular and has a bit of hype. So, should I go on or
Yes, you can go on.
my next one is a personal one because it's my one of my favorite shonen, Rosario plus Vampire season 2. Between season 1 and the anime season 1 there's not that much change, but in season 2 of the manga, Rosario plus Vampire becomes one of the best battle shonens, which has a really good message, which is really important nowadays because of the pressure from the right wing that everyone is equal, you can accept everyone no matter what of gender and race. It has some of the best fights and action scenes that I've seen in a shonen. But in the anime season 2, they thought themselves, great fights, character development. No, we need Buba and Pansu. Yes! Yes! Insult! Riot Games! But what can I say? That's why the series has such a bad rep, and nobody's talking about it in the manga community. It's a shame.
I haven't watched or read it, and I don't.
I mean, you can watch season 1. It's an old school harem ecchi. You probably will like season 1.
Okay.
It's not that bad, but season 2 is. I mean, if you don't know what's happening in the manga, you think yourself, oh, that's just like season 1 with actual booba. Nice.
I see. I see. Are you finished with yours?
Yes, you can
Okay.
go on with your next one.
So for my next one, I have something that I bashed a lot of times already, and I have to bash it again. It's Berserk 2016. And look at the picture. It's just, what the fuck is this shit? It's completely garbage. A completely CGI mess.
Yes.
I mean, 2016 wasn't that evolved with CGI and stuff. But yeah,
But this.
yeah, it could have been definitely way better.
I think Berserk 2016 also shows one thing about adaptations. That sometimes it's getting drawn out in a lottery who gets a good adaptation.
Yeah.
Because even in 2016, the Souls games had one of their high points. For example, I think 2016 was. Well, Bloodborne was out on the PS4. Everybody loved Bloodborne.
Yes.
And Bloodborne and Elden Ring and Dark Souls are inspired by Berserk, but let's not get sidetracked. Nobody can tell me that Berserk was not popular enough 2016 to receive a good anime. That's not possible. It's for many people the best manga. There is no way that there were not enough popularity and funds to make a good show. It's not possible. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Do you have anything else?
Yes, I have another one that pains me to be on this list. It's the Doro adaptation.
Why is it?
It's per se not bad, but yes, it has CGI, but the CGI looks passable. But Doro is like some other shows that I have prepared for later. A show that does not look good in color. I mean, you can see in the background from the first episode or the first chapter of Doro, a famous panel where Kaiman is gobbling up a wizard and eating his head. You can see the difference between the manga and the anime. The manga is so detailed. Plus, it looks so much better in black and white.
It does, definitely.
And I've also searched out an anime picture from Shin and a manga picture from Shin, the guy with a heart mask. And in black and white, he looks so menacing. Yes, it's not the same picture from the same scene, but you see what I'm getting at. His mask looks evil and menacing, while in the anime it looks. Yeah. I get why it's red because it's a heart, but it looks way cooler in black and white. Plus, Doro is also. I think we can use it as a transition. The manga is way more brutal and shows a lot more stuff, while the anime is censored.
Yes, it is.
Do you have any other shows that are censored, or where you have seen some notable censorship?
I first wanted to conclude this category.
Oh, I thought you had nothing else in your tank.
No, I have a conclusion to every topic we are going to talk about.
I see.
So, yes, some anime series stick to their original clothes. Like, we called out Demon Slayer, we called out Dandadan. You called out what again? For a good example?
Frieren.
Yes, Frieren.
Shanfo, which is currently airing, also a good one.
Yes, Hanfo. And on the other hand, you also have those like where you think, bro, what the fuck did you do to the manga author? You murdered him.
Eminence was
and
also a positive example. I
mm,
remember.
and you murdered him and took away his pride because you butchered his work. And we can definitely see that if we have good adaptations, yeah.
Look, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is not good for manga and became literally the best-selling manga because of the anime.
mm,
Because people
yes.
want, and while it was a pandemic and people had a lot of time, yes, but Demon Slayer's numbers are ridiculous. I
So
find
yeah,
it so funny in the manga community. Demon Slayer was skyrocketing, rocketing, breaking every record, and now
yes.
it's irrelevant after it's ended. It's so funny.
Yes,
Nobody's
but
talking
then
about it. Now I
but
think about it.
then we have also the bad examples. For example, we call it what? The Promised Neverland. You call it Dodo Hedodo,
Rosario.
Rosario, Record of Ragnarok, Berserk. Like this stuff where plot points are altered or completely skipped. Yeah, this is definitely not good for the community of this manga. It,
Yes.
and the author doesn't want it too because his work didn't get any more sales because of that and
No
stuff.
popularity. It's just getting hate and laughter.
Yes.
Also, we
So
forgot X Arm as the baddest, worst adaptation ever. Forgot him in the
definitely.
listing.
So yeah, what do you guys think is a good balance between staying faithful and offering something new?
Also, before we go on, I've heard something, but I could not confirmed it. It's about Bleach. In Bleach, there was a problem that the last arc had some not plot holes, but some unresolved stuff, and it was kind of rushed. And in the anime now, the author Tite Kubo is working with the animation studio and writing extra scenes just for the anime to resolve the problems that he had in the manga or the plot holes. That's
Mm-mm.
that came just into my head, and I wanted to say that because
That
Bleach fans are really happy about the Thousand Year Blood War adaptation.
I actually had Bleach too for another point, for another category.
Yes,
But you wanted to go with censoring, right?
yes.
Yes, then let's go with censoring.
Do you
Um,
want to talk about funny censorship or censorship that harms the product?
um, I wanted to take a look at edgy anime first because it's obvious we have a lot of censoring there. I mean, if it wouldn't be censored, then it would be hentai.
That's not
Yeah.
no, no, no. You have that wrong, my guy.
If it wouldn't be censored, then it would be hentai.
No. Hentai is
Huh.
actual porn where you can see the primary stuff. But in ecchi, it's just like softcore, for example.
Okay.
So ecchi is just about boobs and stuff. While in hentai, you can see the deed being done. It's the same in porn. Like, you don't say that something like American Pie is porn or. That's I think that's a good example. American Pie is the English ecchi, basically. Have you watched American Pie or are you too young for that?
I don't remember anything of American Pie. I've watched
Ah,
it, but I don't remember anything.
there were a lot of boobs.
Yeah, I was too young when I watched it.
Ah, yeah.
I mean, I was 12, 13 or something like this. Yeah.
It's just like a typical ecchi rom-com. No plot, characters, booba.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So, how do those edgy anime get censored? In most of the cases, there are like bubbles, shampoo, or even light gets censored the best parts. Do you have any other examples how stuff gets censored in edgy anime?
I mean, but that has nothing to do with adaptation because in manga there isn't often even more. But I know a famous example from censoring because it depends sometimes on the country where the anime is getting broadcasted. China is a good example. I think you
True.
have probably seen the how's her name? Mitsuko? From Demon Slayer, the Booba lady with pink hair. The
Yes.
comparison between the bath scene in China where she wears a towel and the normal scene where she is with the hair is just covering up the bits and pieces.
Another one that I have is the Chainsaw Man China censoring. You know what I mean? The blood being
White.
like, yes.
The 7 Deadly Sins had it in the normal version. White blood always looks hilarious. It looks like cum. So it
Yes.
looks so funny.
I don't know why China did this.
Because of the laws, they can't show blood. For example, you play LOL like me. I have played LOL. Vladimir's abilities, the blood champion, his abilities are black, not red.
True,
Because they
yeah.
can't show blood in China. So when you're playing LOL in China, there's no blood, there's some black goo attacking people.
Oh yeah.
And they can't
Crazy.
show skulls. So Katus has
Yeah.
never splasher, for example.
So yeah, let's talk about hilarious censoring.
Yes, I've prepared a great scene from the German Naruto version. It was broadcasted to kids. In the original version, we have Zabuza, who has his big sword stuck in a tree, and he's standing on top of his sword. But in the German version, they cut it out his sword, and he just stands on the air. It looks really funny.
Yes, I
This is
saw this
also that's
too.
kind of menacing because you think yourself, oh, this guy is really strong. He can fly. How? I want to know the jutsu. Also, in the German version, there were some changes to the localization. In Naruto, I think you should even know that Sasuke's brother Itachi killed his whole clan.
Yes.
And in the German version, he captured the clan and took them hostage. Because of that, Sasuke wants revenge. Good one.
Yes. We also prepared the same picture from One Piece because it's so hilarious.
Sanji, yes.
With his lollipop.
There's also another funny picture from the same arc, but I have not prepared it. It's when Luffy got stabbed. In the German version, it's a pimple, which is used to make it. How is it called? If too much stuff is in your toilet, you pump with a pimple, and then you can flush your toilet again. Do you have any other funny censorship, or should we go
I
on to the
saw
series?
you have.
True, I have Yu-Gi-Oh! One, I remember.
Yes.
Where the people in the original are pointing guns at Kaiba, and in the 4Kids version, they are like, you there, hold it right there, criminal scum, don't go away. And just pointing menacingly at Kaiba. It looks so funny.
It does. uh,
I also have another one that is kinda funny but kinda serious and ruins the scene. It's from One Piece again, from the belief of the Whitebeard one,
mm,
where in the manga Akainu punches half of Whitebeard's head away, and in the
yes.
anime just a fraction of his beard, maybe a quarter, gets burnt away. Equal
True.
damage, yes. Good representation of the hit that Whitebeard took. Yes, good job,
Mm.
Toei, good job. But I did not know that this was like this in the manga. I thought when I watched the scene first, oh yes, Whitebeard, good dodge. Only half of your beard got blown away. Nice dodge, bro. And then I read the manga and oh, nice dodge.
Yes, as you can see, censoring isn't good in any.
Yes, I have enough two other ones if you where you can see
Yes.
that's not from Naruto.
Mm.
It's the one where Neji got blown a hole straight through his shoulder, while in the manga, in the anime, there's some fracture, whatever. There's a clearly difference. There's a
Mm.
hole straight through his shoulder, and he says then that he's not sure if he survived because he took this much damage. And which scene is more believable? If you have a hole in your body, or when there's some spiral fracture on your shoulder? Hours pain. And I have another one. We have Ryutu's using sound jutsu, and because of that, he has some holes in his body where the sound is coming out like a flute. And another guy put some insects in those holes, and so they got filled in. So the sound built up, and his arms exploded. You can clearly see the difference between the anime and the manga. In the manga, he
Mm.
has his arms are ripped, while in the anime, they are damaged but fine. They are literally getting blown off in the manga.
Yes.
I think that's it for censorship.
It is. We talked about everything that I had. So let's come to our conclusion. So, darker series like
Seinen, basically. Every
yes,
seinen.
Chainsaw Man, Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan often turn down to violence or graphic content.
That are kids series. Need to talk about Doro, Berserk, Z-Man, Jagan. That's the real brutal stuff. Innocent, Sunken Rock.
Yes, but every country has differences in their broadcasting standard influence. So it may look different in other countries. For example, the One Piece we talked about, or Chainsaw Man with the blood. But is it really necessary, Nikolai?
It also depends on the era when the show is airing and what is the target audience.
True.
And
But
no,
is it?
both censoring is not necessary. If there's some
Yes.
really questionable stuff, like let's say there is some really questionable stuff with minors, yes, that shit can go away. We don't need it.
Mm,
But if somebody's head is getting blown off, I don't mind that.
true.
Or if there is some even some more sexual scenes. I mean, in Seinen there are a lot of scenes like that. You know the clips, right? What
Mm,
Griffith does to Casca. Unfortunately, even though the scene is horrific, disgusting, but it's important for a plot, and the clips would hit a whole lot different if the scene wasn't there. So it would be a shame if it would get censored.
mm, definitely. So, what do you guys? What do you think, guys? Let us know in the comments. Next up to the thing that I already mentioned, it's pacing and filler episodes.
Yes. So, pacing. I think we both know one show that has atrocious pacing.
Hmm.
What is it?
One Piece.
Yes. It's unwatchable. It's so bad.
True.
It's even getting a new anime adaptation before the show, while the show is still running, the original one. It's unheard of. But how can a show have bad pacing? How can that happen? Do you know the answer?
If they are about to catch up to the mangas, so they have to slow down. So
Yes,
filler
because they have that their old weekly schedule where every week an episode has to come out. One Piece is the only relic of its time that is doing this nowadays.
Yes. I mean, Romans also have some filler episodes.
But it's
Or
Romans. It's slice of life episodes in Romans are at least kind of nice because you see the characters interact. That's why you watch Romans.
yes,
Plus,
mm?
I have kind of a hot take if you want to hear it.
Yes, let me hear it.
Most anime have in general a bad pacing because anime have a pacing, while manga don't. Because of
Yes.
manga, you can make your own pacing. You can decide how fast you want to read. If I
Yeah.
can skip through pages, skip through the dialogue, just read the most important words, or analyze every meticulous detail from the highlight panel.
True.
That's one of the huge upsides of manga.
It is, yes.
Because, for example, if an anime has a really nice fight or moment, do you really rewind and watch it again to see every detail? No, you finish the episode and maybe then rewind, but or watch the clips on another day if you're motivated or if it's on your YouTube homepage.
Yes, do you have other examples? I have two for this.
Yes, you can drop your examples.
We both know what's gonna come now.
I mean, the filler episodes.
Yes. And a great count of filler episodes does Naruto have.
Yes.
There are a lot of filler episodes in Naruto.
Do you know why filler episodes are so bad?
Actually, I don't know.
Filler episodes are written by the anime studio and not by the manga author.
Ah, okay. Makes
So
sense.
they have no impact on the plot because you start at point A, have your filler arc, and return to point A. Nothing changes, no plot advancement, no character advancement. Everything is meaningless in the main story. It feels
Yes,
it's alienating. Plus,
that's true.
sometimes the people that write those episodes have smoked some Zaza or something because what is the ostrich ninja in Naruto? What's the point?
I also have this one.
Yes, you have, and it's Pika. That's why I want to talk about it. Or when the Mecha Naruto spawns in another filler episode where it's Mecha Kurama. What is this shit? But there are some funny filler episodes.
Yes.
For example, you know Kakashi from Naruto, right?
Hmm.
There are some filler episodes where they try to spy what Kakashi looks like under his mask.
Ah, I know this episode, I think.
Those are funny episodes and they are well made. But most fillers sucked.
Hmm.
Another good example for fillers is from One Piece. I think it's G8. It's an early filler where they're infiltrating the marine base. It's really old. I think it's post Skype here.
Yes, it is. I don't remember this shit even. Yeah. It's so irrelevant.
But it's at least not offensively bad.
Yeah.
Many
Yeah,
people thought, by the way, that the Foxy arc was filler as well. But it's
true.
not.
It is not, in fact.
Do you have any other filler infested shows?
Definitely. We have Fairy Tail, Bleach. Those are big filler
Yes.
guys.
Black Clover, as some of the
Mm,
worst filler integrations.
true.
Because filler actually infiltrated the manga somehow. The story is really wild. Someone wrote a novel for Black Clover, or even the author, but the novel is filler. But to promote the novel, the author put the characters from this novel into the manga. It was when they are visiting for the first time a witch coven. Remember the randoms that showed up?
Nope.
There was this random dude who was Asta's friend and this midwaifu. They are filler characters, which have infiltrated somehow the manga, the original source.
Oh, okay.
You can check after the recording, then you feel
Mm.
who I mean. It was the guy who also was in Spade, I think. He was a soldier in Spade and deserted then.
Oh, okay. I remember now.
This guy and the girl who was traveling with him and his wife. They are all filler characters.
Yes. But I think for filler and pacing, we don't need to say anymore.
I have one thing to say. It
Okay.
has per se nothing to do with pacing, but I know why it's done, but for most shows, 12 episodes aren't enough. Because
Yes.
when you watch a show with a normal pacing, you get just to the juicy parts. You have finished like one arc, and
Mm.
you just know what the story is about to do, who the characters are, yada yada yada, and then it just ends, and you have to wait 1 or 2 years. Yes, I
Yes.
know that you buy the manga, but it's still meh.
I actually had this when I watched Windbreaker. Like, there was one arc, then it's finished with season 1. That was kind of pissing me off.
Yes, I've checked when season 1 was ending. They are coming at school, and then they have a fight with a gang and the tournament, and that's it.
Bro, okay.
It's not the fault of the manga or the story, but it's just 12 episodes only have so much room.
Hmm.
Another good example is Chainsaw Man. It's just ended up when Chainsaw Man was really getting good. Like the bangers are going to come, but
Yes.
we have been coping for 3 years now. They are friends. It's going to get really good. Just trust us.
Yes. So, are you done?
Yes,
Do you
we
have
can.
anything?
No, we can go on.
Okay, for the conclusion. It's already, as we said, manga chapters come out at a different pace than anime episodes, so studios often have to adjust to that, like we said. This is where fillers come in. Naruto and Bleach are infamous for their filler arcs. Where some fillers expand the universe, others feel like unnecessary. Like, you called out one good example for a filler arc?
G8 from One Piece.
Yes.
Or the Kakashi mask things.
And then we have the bad, useless fillers.
Yes. Like the Ostrich Ninja or Mecha Naruto. But I remembered one thing which has something to do with filler as well.
Hmm.
When some animes have a different ending, because the manga isn't finished, but the anime needs to finish. Like Akame ga Kill or the original Full Metal Alchemist. The endings of those shows are also filler because they are not written by the manga author but by the studio. And caused, like you said, that the manga was being caught up towards the manga. The anime was caught up to the manga and even eclipsing the manga in terms of content.
So yeah, how do fillers impact your viewing experience, Nikolai?
I don't, because I don't watch anime.
Okay, then it's a question for you guys. How does it affect you?
Fillers are getting skipped.
Or are you team I watch fillers because maybe there's some canon stuff that I need?
But there's one last question that I wanted to ask you or that I want to clarify.
Hmm?
Why are fillers even made? Even nowadays, when you have some filler recap episodes.
What do you mean? We already talked about it.
No, you have some from modern shows when you have suddenly a random recap episode dropping. Like Solo Leveling, for example, and all of the people hated it. Do you remember?
Yes.
That's because the studio bought the time slot that the show can be broadcasted.
Mm.
And they need to broadcast something because then the ads can be so that the ads can run. That's what I was
Yes.
searching for.
Yes.
That's why we have sometimes senseless recap episodes.
Yes. Other reasons could be illness of a voice actor.
Yes, some production issues. Even though
Yes.
there are production issues, you bought the slot where your show can run and they need something to be broadcasted. Because ad revenue is important.
It is. We also had this with Oshinoko, where there was a weird episode.
True,
I
there
don't
was a
remember.
recap episode as well.
Hmm.
One Piece has also some recap episodes in every arc.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but I think that's it for pacing and fillers.
Yes.
So you mentioned my next topic already. It's original endings and divergences. Divergences? Divergences?
Divergences.
Divergences. Yes. Where you have different endings or you have Abweichung, divergences.
Yes. A divergence.
I have written me down Bokuben because I
Anime
have
sucks ass.
I've watched the anime and then I checked out the internet if there aren't any differences in the manga. But then I found out there are different endings for every character in Bokuben. And I was like, they should have made it in the anime too, because the ending sucks.
I mean, the anime was too bad, so they couldn't get towards the ending.
The anime wasn't that bad.
Then why it has not gotten to the ending, because Bokuben has a lot of volumes, like 20 plus volumes, and 2 seasons are not 20 plus volumes.
True.
So there is a reason why it has not finished legitimately and adapted everything.
I don't know. I actually don't know, and I don't want to know it actually.
It's bad.
Nah, it's not that bad. It's solid. Yeah, Pokemon definitely has a different ending in manga, so anime a bad adaptation, basically.
Yes. Yes, we already talked about some other ones like Original Full Metal Alchemist and Akame ga Kill.
Mm.
But I think there's one other famous manga that has a bad rap in the anime community. I
Do you
think
mean
you know what it is.
Tokyo Ghoul?
Correctus.
Yes, I've written it down for me too. Because I watched the anime and then I checked. Because I have heard that the manga ending was different, so I had to check it out.
I've only read the manga, so I cannot comment.
So, what happened in the manga ending?
Normal Tokyo Ghoul or Tokyo Ghoul Re?
Normal Tokyo Ghoul.
I kinda like the spoilers, obviously. I kinda like the Tokyo Ghoul ending because in the end there was a big battle between the how are the humans called? Their special division, I don't know, remember the name, and the ghouls. There was a
Yes.
lot of carnage on both sides. Lives were needlessly throwing away. There was basically no winner at the end, which
Mm.
fits the grim world of Tokyo Ghoul, which I like.
Yes.
Plus, it was kind of an open ending. You don't know what's going to happen, and because of that, you want to read. But I regretted that because Tokyo Ghoul Re sucks ass. While normal Tokyo Ghoul is actually good.
I see. I see. Yes. I already talked about my other thing that I wrote down, The Promised Neverland. And yeah, the ending is completely changed from the manga. Because in the manga, you have a happy ending for everyone. The monster world is happy, the human world is happy, everyone is happy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you have anything else other than Akamegake or the things that you mentioned?
I've mentioned a positive divergence. It
Mm.
was in Bleach. A positive divergence is where the author is involved to, for example, change some things that he did not write that good or wanted to change or think are suited better for the anime.
Hmm.
I think in the Attack on Titan there were also some changes made towards the end from the author, for example.
Yes.
So if you're doing a divergent ending and another version of your ending or arc whatever, then do it with a consent and with the author, with the guidance of the author.
Hmm.
Then it could be good. But if you're writing something yourself, that's just science fiction, and that's not why we are going to watch your adaptation.
Yes. So for the ending, I have concluded too. We've seen some endings and then thought, I thought it was different than it was in the manga. And then we wanted to check out the manga then, because we wanted to see the real ending. And maybe then you're disappointed with the ending of the anime. But in some cases, you are happy that the anime has a different ending than the manga. Could be a two-way, yeah, the two-sided way, a two-splitted way. Like the meme, you know what I mean? Like
Yes,
the one way,
with the castle. A double-edged sword, you could also call it.
Yes. Yeah, and I think it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could also be something good. If it's good
If it's with the
umgesetzt.
consent of the author.
Yes.
That's the important part. Because you're
But
adapting the story of the author and not
yes.
your fanfiction.
But you guys, let me know what you think of differences in manga and anime. And let's go on to the next topic. So for my last topic, I have music and voice acting.
As for manga guy, I can speak about those topics and someone who does not enjoy music, so it's all his stage.
Yes. You could take my clip from Dandadan again here, because the music and voice acting there was pretty nice done.
You mean the muted clip?
Yes. But if you search up Danadan chasing scene, you will find the scene. Then you can check it out with music and voice acting. But
Yes.
another good example of voice acting and music is definitely Oshinoko Season 2. Because the whole premise of Season 2 is basically acting in a theater. And you definitely have to hear the voices of the people in a theater. I mean, manga did good, I think. You can say more about the theater arc.
Yes, you can see the nice expressions of the character when they're acting their passion, but it gets. I haven't watched season 2, but it should get enhanced through the voice acting.
Definitely. It's a good adaptation for using the voices of the actors. Yeah. So music definitely enhances scenes. It's important. Voice actors are also important because they can bring emotions to you with their voices. In manga, it's just text you read and you just see some emotions through lines and stuff. But in anime, you can hear the emotions out of the voices from the voice actors. Can you follow me, Nikolai?
Yes, but in a good drawn manga, you can see the emotions better, and it's on the same level. In the elite manga, there are some really famous panels.
Yes. Yeah.
So it depends on how it's handled and how the adaptation or how the art is. Both can be
Yeah.
really, really good.
I also have to mention the name of my favorite voice actor again, Kenjiro Suda, because his voice gives every character he voices a beautiful sound to it. Because I said in another episode, he's steady and yeah. So overall, it's one of the best parts in anime adaptations, that
True.
hearing characters come to life through voice acting and music. So think about how iconic the soundtrack of Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer's animation. I mean, Demon Slayer episode 19 with the music was really, really emotional.
This one trick.
And Attack on Titan soundtrack is, whew. I have 2 Attack on Titan soundtracks in my playlist. I have one Demon Slayer soundtrack in my playlist. So it's definitely good music.
Yes. I have one thing to say about voice acting.
Yes.
Voice acting can even enhance your manga reading experience, which is really nice. Because when you watch the anime and then continue reading the manga, you can hear in your imagination the voices
Yes.
of the voice actors.
So you basically read in the voice of the voice actor.
Yes. Obviously, if it's a fitting voice actor and if it's good.
Mm.
But voice acting can enhance your manga reading experience. It
Yes.
sounds weird, but it is what it is.
So music creates powerful music in those with the voices, animations. This can produce very powerful moments. Yeah. Do you think these elements can make up for shortcomings in an adaptation, Nikolai?
Yes, I mean, we both know which show I'm going to mention. You know it. You talked about the scene already as well. You
Of
know my
course, I know.
opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about it as well in Frieren. There are no shortcomings, but it enhanced the manga that I already liked and have on my top 10 the anime. So the anime is really, really good. But there are some Zoomers who always want action, even though it's fantasy, not action. But what can I do? Even though he stopped watching me before one of the best action sequences of this whole year and the dragon fight, but skill issue, I guess.
I don't know who you are talking about.
Unknown person. Never
Ah,
met them,
okay.
never seen them.
Okay, I see. Yes, that was my last topic. Nikolai has one topic too.
I have a kind of quiz for you.
Okay.
I have prepared. There are 10, 11 pictures
Okay.
where you can watch the pictures. They are labeled black and white,
Ah, okay.
and think about for a short time because we need to come to a close.
Hmm.
Would this picture be, or this panel be, would the adaptation in the anime be good? Why and why not?
Okay.
They should be
Which
in
one?
alphabetical order for you. So the Doridoro one is first with the gore, right?
Okay. Yes.
And then we should go on with the same ones.
Ooh, this one looks really stunning. Like, very detailed. And I think to animate this, it's definitely a hard one. But if you're really talented, you could definitely make something like this. But I think it better stays in the manga.
Plus, I think it will be heavily censored. The blood, the gore, and you can
Mm,
see on the top the innards that are dropping to the floor.
yeah.
So it would definitely lose the vibe of it because it will be censored, probably.
Mm, okay. On to the next one.
It's from Doridoro as well.
This one is definitely adaptational, or you could definitely adapt it into anime. I mean, it's just the street, just Kaiman and
Nikaido.
Nikaido.
Yes. Yes,
This is, yeah,
if you use the
we,
right color palette, because the
yes,
city is still a dark hellhole. So
it
no
is.
bright colors. They are not
Yeah.
allowed. But if you use it correctly, dark colors, the mud, the roughness, the
Hmm.
dirt, then yes, that you could adapt.
Okay.
The next one is from Sakamoto, the goat from Innocent. It's Charles Henry Sanson, the executioner of France with the most executions.
Okay. And I think it could be animated, but it's hard definitely because of the sunlight, the rays of the sun, the hair of this person. It's hard, but it definitely is makeable.
I think it depends on the color palette, which color his clothes have, and if they match the skull, because it's obviously a normal human. Normal human is not a fantasy manga. It's just a depiction of a literal death.
Mm.
So it's a symbolic depiction.
Yes. But I mean, everything else, it's definitely fine.
Yes. Depends again on the composition.
Mm.
The next one is from Innocent as well.
I can see a pattern.
It's the father from the person from the picture before.
And this one, I would say, stay manga.
Yes. It would lose its whole vibe. The black, ominous darkness.
It's so dark in there. It's definitely a good manga panel that you can't animate well, I think.
Then,
I mean, this person should be easy, but the darkness.
yes, the vibe, to translate vibe, is really hard.
Yes.
I mean, there could be everything. It could possibly be a Chainsaw Man panel, for example. There could be some horrific devil there. You don't know. Because it's pitch black. There could be the darkness devil, for example. That's how
Yes.
mysterious the darkness is. Then the next one is the last innocent panel.
This one. Nah. It's not. Nah, I don't think so. Because it's definitely too goric, in my opinion, for
Too
anime.
gory. Yes.
Those heads.
You wouldn't see the two heads on the right and the left, where you can see where the blade cut off the head. The how it's called, Schnittstelle, we call it in Germany. You just
The
wouldn't.
cutting wound.
Yes, wound. Yes, you wouldn't see the wounds.
Yes. I mean, you can see it on just two heads, but it's enough.
Yes.
Also, those two heads on the chandelier are also. Yeah.
Innocent is very brutal because it's about executions. Who could have guessed that?
I think I also see some blood spilling down from the
From the
big
faces, yes.
pot. Yeah.
It's from a pot, yes. It's
So
ripping
yeah,
onto the roses as well.
definitely
On the
not.
flowers.
Definitely not.
Then in the next one we are changing series. It's from Jagan. For context, our main character shoots this big dragon head at his enemy
Ah,
that he
okay. I
summoned.
thought he was being eaten.
No, he shoots it.
Okay. It does look very, very detailed. I mean, the mouth of this dragon is very detailed. And even the spell which summons it, I think, is it a summoning spell?
Kinda. He forms it with his gun. With his power,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, it looks pretty well, but I think it could be animatable.
I think this panel is fine, but the part where he shoots the dragon at his enemy, that would be a CGI clusterfuck.
Yes, definitely.
So the next panels are some highlights from Boichi, Sunken
Mhm.
Rock.
This one is definitely not. You can't picture this in an anime, in opinion.
I don't think if that the effect with Ken in the character, if the background fading out, it's a movie effect. I don't know if it's even possible in anime to achieve this.
I don't know, but you can definitely see the sharpness of the bat. I don't know if is it a bat?
Yes, baseball bat.
The sharpness of the bat in the front is very, very sharp, but then the body of him is like one pixel or something.
Yes, it's how is it called? Tiefenschärfe, we call it in Germany.
Yes.
It's a movie effect where you can only see the things that are closest to you really sharp, but the
Mm.
back is very blurry.
But I think definitely not for anime.
Yes. I think this effect is not possible in anime if you are drawing it. Maybe with some CGI animation, but I don't
Mm.
think this is possible. The next one, Sunken Rock as well.
And for this one, I definitely have to say it's definitely makeable. It's makeable. You can definitely make it. You can see Thunderdon has some pretty good quality with lights reflecting in puddles. So
I
why
have
shouldn't it?
one specific, how's it called, director in mind. It's how she called again from One Piece. Megumi Ishitani was her name, I think.
Yes, yes, it is.
This person, this show
Yes.
can make this definitely happen.
Hmm. Are there cars in the background, or what is the light?
With in general some city lights.
Ah, okay. I thought there were some cars behind him.
Could be cars, I need to double check. Then the next panel, the last Sunken Rock panel, my Discord profile picture.
True.
I
And
think the
this,
answer is obvious.
it is obvious. It's not possible.
No. It would lose again. It's a vibe, the blackness. It looks so sick.
Yes. I mean, I could see myself in the darkness. It's so black.
Yes.
What
And
what are the things in the shelves? Right
glasses,
next to the no, right next to the glasses.
bottles. It's a
Those are
bar.
bottles?
Yes, it's a bar.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah. I had to zoom in. Ah, okay. Wow. Wow. I looked at the table and you could see some. I don't know what it is.
The reflection of the light and two bottles there.
Hmm. But yeah, it definitely looks pretty good. And it's really hard to make this into anime that's really fitting this panel.
Yes. And then the last two panels are from a show I think that we've watched. It's from Witch and the Beast. Or at
Yes,
least seen clips from it. So
I
those are
have
really
watched it.
nice. Then
But I don't remember this scene with the.
it's not from the anime. It's a bit
Ah,
further.
okay.
It's on the top. It's a wolf. That's the important thing.
Hmm. But this one is definitely makeable. It doesn't look that bad, in my opinion.
I would have said that the wolf is hard to animate, but I saw Shanfro, the latest episodes with Lycon, and Lycon looked solid, so maybe. Yes. And on to the last one.
Yes.
Also one that you've not seen.
Yeah. This one is very detailed too, because you can see the feathers from the wings. You can see blood on her body. Is it
Yes,
blood?
it's blood.
He has a tear in his eye.
It's also
It's
blood.
okay. It's blood. Okay, yeah.
And you can see the runes on his arms.
It's very, very hard to make this, and it wouldn't definitely anything like this
Yes. Plus, I
with any
think
respect.
the color black is very important here, so every other color would be bad.
It wouldn't look like this with any respect to animators, but this one is really hard to make.
Yes. Then that's the last one.
Okay.
Then we are done. I think we had, in the end, I didn't count, but it was quite even.
Yes.
I think maybe one was more, maybe a bit more to a manga side, but not more than one. Or a few ones where it could swing either way.
Yes.
Then that's it for some highlight panels that could be adapted or could not be adapted.
Yeah. And I think this was it for this episode.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
What are we going to do in next episode?
Good question. Give me an answer.
The monthly recap episode is coming.
Yes.
Because this will be the last episode of the month January. So we talk about what we've watched, read, yada yada yada, and have a talk about whatever comes into our mind.
Yes.
And talk about the recommendations that we gave each other.
And we will also take a look at the seasonal anime. I will do this.
Yes, what you've watched and how the first 4 episodes at max 4 episodes of some shows were. But most have 2 or 3. So stay tuned for next week.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.